Welcome to Tower Gardening Made Easy, and I'm Sherry. If you're new to this station, I just want to say thank you for coming by and watching. If you would be willing to tap that button down below and subscribe to the channel, let's make our community grow. But in the interim, today is going to be all about mushrooms, all about the boom room, which is behind me, and doing some general maintenance and some cleaning and filling the water and looking at settings. I have two blocks that are right now fruiting, and I've got one almost, and then I've got a couple that are just in that beginning stage. So I just want to go through some very basic things about the boom room. I am not an expert by any means, nor Sport, which is the company who makes this and supplies the fruiting blocks. They are the experts. But if you want to leave comments or questions, I will do my best to answer them. And if I don't know, I will find out for you. So I'm going to get right into this. So I'm going to bring you up close so you can take a look. I'm going to adjust this for you. So in a week's time, let's get a little bit closer. Here we go. A week's time, this is the blue oyster. And above this, I'm going to be posting some pictures that we did last weekend, and then I took a couple still shots through the weekend. Now the other ones really aren't that impressive, but this is the one that's most. And the one thing about the oysters is they grow really fast, so you have to stay on top of it. They tend to be a little stemmy, and then they have these beautiful little veils they're just gorgeous. I can't explain it, but it's not ready yet, but almost. At this point, I got to keep my eye on them pretty much once a day. And I would say probably by the beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday, they're going to be ready to harvest. And we're going to do that together. So I'm going to back up the camera a little bit. And we're going to get into this. I'm actually going to get on the floor. So just bear with me here. So you can see what's gonna happen here. All right, so I'm just going to be on the floor so you can get a full view of the boom room and what I'm going to be doing. So in the boom room, you know that there's a humidity that pumps the humidity into the room. This zips all the way around. It's nice and airlocked, but the one thing that I will stress that when you have something that's fruiting like this, for some strange reason, I think it's a little CO2. Again, I'm not an expert. It raises. And you have the fan that's down here behind this humidity that sucks it out. But for some reason, I think it just increases and it just takes a lot more effort in the room. So you really got to stay on top of the moisture that's on the floor. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So basically what I do, I have some old rags here, and I'm just going to adjust this one more so you can actually see on the bottom. And what I basically do is I come here and first of all, I put my hand, maybe we gotta go one more. And one more, there we go. I take the rack and I just kind of get in here and I wipe. Now, I've kind of already done this, but usually it's damp. It's not soaking wet. If it's soaking wet, then you really want to get in there and clean that up. There are two layers. You have this layer on the outside, which is supposed to go on the inside, but I've tried it both ways and I prefer it on the out. And then you also have this rubber mat, so you have three layers in essence to keep the moisture off your floor. You guys can see me. All right. I always leave a Phillips screwdriver down here because you're going to need it. Once a week, what you need to do is you need to change out this. It's like a batting, and it goes on the outside of the CO2 machine. So this CO2 is getting sucked out from here, and this goes on the exterior. And then there's a sleeve that comes over. So I'm going to do my best. This is, do my best to kind of show you guys, but it's kind of in the corner. So here we go. What if I move you? All right, here we go. All right, so here is CO2 with the quartz. How are we doing? Can you guys see me? All right, so this is the intake, and the fan is actually on right now. So this piece of batting needs to go over. All right. So it needs to go over the back side. There's lots of cords. Now, there's a sleeve. There's a sleeve. And the CO2 has to, I'm going to go ahead and attach this. Hi. I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the tent, and then I'll bring the camera up close so you guys can see. All right, so this is where you can see the batting is on the exterior, and then you slide this ring onto here first, and then you just kind of scooch it together, and then you take the Phillips screwdriver and you tighten this. So the last step that I like to do is put a towel underneath it and prop it up just a little bit. It just angles it away from this cabinet, and if there is any seepage, it's going to land on the towel and not the floor. So your humidity is hooked up to here, and your humidity should be set between 75 and 85 with these up and down arrows. You need to plug this in. Okay, and then that's going to regulate on the inside, and then you want to keep this fan relatively unlow. Okay, and that's really all there is to it. You just want to keep it clean. You really do. I can't stress that enough, because you don't want your mushrooms to become compromised. And lastly, what I want to do is add once a week, you want to check that water. And this is running just a little bit low. So we're going to go ahead and fill this up. And I just use a 5-gallon bucket. Bring it right up to the fill line. And again, my water source is on the other side of this wall. So it works out perfectly. So as you can see, look at right in here is the automatic sensor for the humidity, and this needs to be placed in the middle. So I just drape it over a bar, and it just hangs in between. The other day I had to take this rack out because the blue oysters are getting too tall. So I just took this rack out, and it's on the floor over here. So really, in essence, that's all there is to do. Just once a week, just really, really check it. And if you have somebody that's fruiting, you need to stay on top of that filter, because again, I do think that there's a little extra CO2, and then the humidity gets a little crazy. So you just want to stay on it. Otherwise, you're going to have some water on the floor, or in that contained area. It's not on the floor. And if you don't do anything about it, you're going to all of a sudden smell a very foul smell. It smells like fish. Can't really describe it any other way. It's very unpleasant. So I just check it, and now that I've got somebody fruiting, I'm going to be in there, just touching. I just go in and I just touch the bottom. And if it's a little wet, I just get a paper towel or rag and just sop it up. And then I just make sure that everything is set, and that it is good to go. I mean, mushrooms are really easy to grow. And the system that Northspore has put together, even though this is kind of jammed into a corner and hard to film, you get the idea. They supply you with everything when you buy this whole kit. It's linked in my description below. Again, I'm not an affiliate for Northspore, but I do love their products because it provides me mushrooms all the time. And I do love them. I love to put them in stews, in omelets, over burgers, everything. And where I live in Newport, Rhode Island, a small container of shiitake mushrooms that come in one of those plastic containers, and it's about 3 mushrooms sliced is about $8. I'm not kidding. Food here is very, very expensive, and that's why this whole journey of me creating this channel and teaching you that you can do this. One of these fruiting boxes is about $30. For instance, this golden oyster, I believe it was 30 or 25, maybe even with a discount coupon, and it has given me so much food. This is the 3rd round. Hopefully it will sprout again, or not sprout, I should say, grow again. And it looks like it's going to, because it's already started to color the top. And the blooms you've seen that they're about this big. So most times when people have them in the companies that grow them, they pick off a couple and they put them in that little box, and then they go to the store for $8. Like, I had so much that I ended up giving some away before they went bad. So, I mean, look how much food that is. It's a ton. I probably won't eat all of it, so I'll bring some of those mushrooms up north to my friends and family. So I love to share, I love to grow, and that is the whole essence of this channel, is me sharing and sharing my experiences, good or bad. Hovering in a hole trying to change a filter. It's super, super easy, but I'm just in there cramped. So I apologize if it wasn't smooth. But you can see that it's really easy. So now what I want to do is I want to close this up, because otherwise the humidity will never kick off. And as you can see, it just zips around. It zips around. And I just like the zipper up top in case I have to get in there. But I'm really in there maybe once a week, twice a week. That's really about it. So please, thank you for joining me. And make sure you leave your comments or questions below. And I'll do my very best to answer them. And again, if I don't have the answer, then I can definitely find it for you. So I'll see you in the next video.